Okay, welcome to session 4 of the Product Launch Workshop Live. What we're going to do here tonight, we have been working through the technical aspects of your product launch here, and we assume that you have already figured out your product components, so you already know what you're going to deliver, whether it's video or PDF or audio or whatever you're going to be delivering, or graphics or images. We assume you've already worked that out. We assume that you already know what you're going to be writing as your copy. We've actually given you some suggestions if you haven't done that in the first session. We will set you up. We will set up your product launch, your upsells, and your email marketing here in this workshop, and we're going to get pretty much as far as we can. Now we've gotten pretty far throughout the other 3 sessions. We're going to finish up with delivering your actual product here tonight. All right, let's talk about the order of operations briefly. We've talked about this every week, but let's go over it again. First, map out your funnel. Then write your sales copy, then start the product creation process. And once you start the product creation process, the things that we're going to be doing, you should be doing these things at the same time. You should be getting your graphics outsourced. You should be setting up your sales pages. So remember, as you're creating your product, you should also be taking a break setting up your sales pages. You should be doing all of those things. You should be setting up your tracking when you are actually doing this. So again, that's going to be important as you get to this point, because you don't want to get to the end and then have a lot to do. So set up your tracking as you're going. Test your sales pages and your order button. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We talked about the order button. We're going to talk about the testing process inside of Warrior Plus. It's going to be a little different than, it's going to work a little differently than it does in JVZoo. Set up your product delivery, right? Set up your product delivery. And we're going to talk about that tonight. And then set up your post-launch email system and strategy. We might need to go an extra session in order to do that. Now, before we get into tonight's technical things, we talked a little bit last week about the affiliate bonus page, and this is the page that you and I are creating to give our affiliates the opportunity to promote our product. And we're basically giving them a page for them to be able to promote the product and for us to give them bonuses. So we're actually going to find the bonuses. We're going to put the page together, and what your affiliates are going to do is they're going to take this page and they're going to use it as a bridge page, and then they're going to send people to see the bonus page, and then people are going to click through to your link. So we're going to do that here, and this is what we were talking about last week. Now, one of the things that was not mentioned last week that needs to be is that you may want to set up your bonus page on a separate domain. For example, you may want to set it up on a different domain than your JV page, especially because the affiliate bonus page is going to be used by your affiliates, right? And if you're going to allow your affiliates to use any one of your main domains, like if you're going to let them use your JV domain or even your product domain, let's say your product is going to be on one domain, you're going to be delivering it on, in subdirectories. You want to be careful about giving affiliates that domain in order to use their bonus page in order to promote your product. Because again, unfortunately, you don't really have any control over what they do with it. You don't want them to, start posting it all over social media. You don't want them to post it in a way that's going to be inappropriate and then get your domain banned. So what I would suggest is that you get a separate domain and hosting for this bonus page. And obviously, I'm not looking for ways in order to try to get you to spend money. That is really not the idea. But this is just kind of a future concern, and it's one of those things that you don't know if it's going to be a problem until you run into it. And that's the way your affiliates are going to use your domain. Does that make sense, everybody? So that makes sense to you. Please put the number 1 in the question box if you get that. So we're going to move on. You want to make sure that your JV page, as I said, and your sales page has a good reputation, right? It really does need to have that. You want to keep that, and the only way you keep that is when you create a bonus page, you give that to the affiliates. There is sort of a technical process to give your affiliates step-by-step directions. So what you can do on the bonus page now is you want to make sure to give them a video, give them step-by-step directions, give them a PDF, or automate the process, one or the other. Now, I have the process automated, but you can just as well give your affiliates a video telling them exactly what they need to do to use your bonus page. And so when they come there, and I'll tell you this here at the end of this segment, you're not really talking about a lot of advanced planning. Most affiliates are probably going to come to your page on the day of your actual launch. But one of the things you can also give affiliates is an HTML template for them to put on their domains. In other words, you're going to put the entire bonus page together, but you do it in HTML. Now, if you have to do that, if you're on WordPress, let's say you're using InstaBuilder, or you're using something like OptimizePress. Now, I think InstaBuilder will allow you to export your templates to HTML. OptimizePress will not. So you would have to have an HTML template either made, or you would have to have your template made into an HTML template. And I've actually had that done. I think it costs maybe about $15. I had someone from the Philippines to do it. There's a gentleman that I know very well over the years, and what he has done is he works with WordPress, so turning that template into HTML so that my affiliates could use it was no problem. You'll be able to find someone fairly easy that can actually do that, and it really should not cost you a lot of money to do. You can also give your affiliates a template for their favorite page builder. Again, you're basically taking the bonus page concept, and what you're doing is you're putting it in these different templates and these different page builders. So, for example, what you could do is you could do an InstaBuilder template. Now, if you're going to do that, I would suggest that you actually have that outsourced. Again, you can find people. I would go to the Warriors for Hire section, and you can find people who can actually do this work. You're going to actually do the bonus page, and you're going to say to them, I need to have this bonus page put into an InstaBuilder template, or whatever it is that people use on InstaBuilder. You can have one done for OptimizePress, and that's actually pretty easy to do for OptimizePress. And if your user already has OptimizePress, then all you're really going to have to do is export the template, right? And let me show you that here for a second. So, for example, if we go to, I'm going to find a page on OptimizePress, and let's see, one second, we'll find a page on OptimizePress here, and what we'll do is I want to show you pretty much all you're going to have to do with your pages. And what you're going to do here inside of OptimizePress is you're going to go to the dashboard. And when you go to the dashboard, there are your content templates. And we're gonna open up a page here in OptimizePress. Let's do it this way. Open up a page. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the content templates, and we're going to export a template. And when you export a template, what that's going to do is that's going to give you the opportunity to give people an OptimizePress template, right? So you're going to take your basic page and export it, and you're going to make that whole file downloadable for people who use OptimizePress. And all you're really doing is making it easy for your affiliates when you do that. So you're just going to export your entire bonus page and give it to your affiliates. They'll be able to put it onto their version of OptimizePress, and then they will be able to use that bonus page in order to promote. I know that a number of people have purchased Conversely, and I don't know if they have templates, but if you know that a lot of your affiliates have this and they use it, then this is going to be something that you'll want to do. So again, all you're really trying to do is make it easy for your affiliates. I think if you do one of these in HTML, then you're going to be in good shape, right? So I think that's all you're really going to have in order to use that template properly. Okay, the technical process is going to involve placing a code on your JV page, which directs them to the parameters, to the bonus page. Again, that's a really technical process. I'm going to actually have to show you this in a separate video. We could probably take an entire hour just to show you that process. We're not going to go through that process. This is an automation piece to the bonus page part, and it gives you the opportunity to just make it really easy for your affiliates, right? Okay. Now here's the most important part to this. When you create this bonus page for your affiliates, and I didn't say this last week, and I guess this is really kind of an important part of it. Your affiliates are not going to come to your bonus page an hour before. They're probably not going to come the day before. They're probably going to come about 15 to 30 minutes before they send an actual email on the day of your launch. So you have to make this bonus page part extremely easy for them to operate. I mean, you can't leave any ambiguity. It has to be very streamlined. And so I'm really in favor of, when you're going to do this bonus page, either HTML and one format, right? Typically I might do optimized press and HTML. Sometimes I don't do optimized press at all, right? Because again, it's just one more thing for them to do, and when they've got about 15 minutes, they've got to write the email, they're going to opt for the easiest option. I want to talk to you a little bit about collecting testimonials also, and we breeze over that, but it's one of those things that is an easy thing to understand, but you do have to know how to do it, and it's not necessarily an easy thing. What you have to try to do is to make it part of the buying process. So in other words, you want to have some kind of automated follow-up, probably within the first 14 to 21 days after the purchase of a product. Make it a part of the buying process if you can. And then what you want to do is you want to tell people, right? You want to tell people, I have not in the past given an incentive in the past, right? That has not been my thing, to give an incentive for testimonials. There's nothing wrong with it. Right? There's nothing wrong with you giving I would say an incentive, but just don't give away too much. You don't want it to be the kind of thing where people are getting something in order to say something nice about you. You really want to get honest feedback. Now, you don't have to use everybody's feedback, but you want to get honest feedback. You do not want to be on record as having said, hey, you know what, you're going to get this really cool thing if you say something good about my product. That's too close to the line, and there are probably going to be enough people who are willing to say something good. You just got to give them the opportunity, but you can give an incentive. Just don't give it until the end. Use a tool to do this if possible. There are software programs, there are services that are available. Probably one of the best ones that I've seen recently has been called Review Trust. I don't know if any of you all have heard of that. Now, it is a paid service. Right, it is a paid service. I think it's $39 or $37 a month, so it's not necessarily going to be free, but it automates this process and it helps you to normalize it. So in other words, if you're going to sell a product, Review Trust is going to send out an email saying, hey, we want to get your honest feedback about this purchase. And of course, there are tools available where you can just collect these testimonials using HTML, that you can stick that code onto your website. But the collection process is the key, right? And it's really making it a normal part of your business. And so if you make it a normal part of your business, you're going to get testimonials a lot faster and a lot easier, and that's really what you want. Now, you're going to get feedback that maybe you don't like, but all that feedback is going to be good anyway, right? So you don't have to run from the feedback. You're going to get it. You just want to make sure that you do it systematically as part of the process. Okay, so we want to do some positive testimonials in order to increase sales. That you are going to see increased sales as a result of your getting testimonials, right? So again, this is going to be worth your time to do. And so do want to try to do it, and you want to try to do this in a way that is going to actually help you, again, make it a part of your normal sales process, and this is really going to work well, and you will have things to put on your sales pages as you continue to do product. And then, as you do this, continually improve the process. Again, testimonials are the hardest thing to do, right? Out of all the things you're going to do, probably the most difficult thing you're going to do is to collect testimonials on a regular basis. And again, the more that you can normalize the process, the easier it's going to be. I think that when you are in a certain position in your business, I would suggest a solution like Review Trust. There's a monthly fee for that service, and the reason that this service is probably going to be monthly is because it's going to be worth the money. And if you think about it, I think it's $30 or $40 a month, you could conceivably have at least 1 or 2 sales that are justify that amount. And again, I can't make promises, but again, using a service like this that again makes it a normal part of the process for all your customers, giving you the opportunity to place that code someplace else and tell people that, hey, there are other people who like this, that will increase your sales. Okay, so this week what I want to talk about here is going to be delivering your content. And we're going to run through all these things. And this is really the end of the process, right? This is the end of the process. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to run through these last things that you're going to need in order to launch your product. Now, the first thing we want to talk about here is setting up a download page. And a download page does not have to be complicated, right? In fact, it shouldn't be, right? And in fact, it's a good thing. Now, here is, it's not the prettiest download page in the world, but this is a download page, right? And I'm doing this inside of Optimized Press. I've got 3 buttons here where people can come and download things, right? That's really all that you're going to want to need. You want to say something like download your item, putting in a button, right? I'm going to make this button clickable. I'm going to put the link to that button right on that page. So again, probably the first thing you're going to do in this process is set up a download page, right? And again, don't try to make this too intricate, right? At the very top, make sure that whatever you have promised your buyer that they're getting, right? Give it to them right up top. When you get up under here, now this is an older download page that we've had. You can make available some of your other products, right? You can get clickable links to your other products. Now, one of the aspects of this is that you can choose to do this in 1 or 2 ways. If you put a link in here, if you put what's called a naked link in here, what's going to happen is your affiliates are going to get credit for these sales, right? If you put an affiliate link in here or you put your own tracking link in here, then you are going to get the residual sales. Now again, that's going to be your choice. You can put these links in here, and again, this is a long-term thing. The more money that your affiliates make, the more opportunities they have to make money, the more they'll be apt to promote for you, right? Does that make sense? So what you're trying to do on the download page is, yes, you want to make sales. And one of the things I want to talk about here, and I have it here kind of on these last few thoughts here at the very last thing that I said, when you're doing a product launch, you have 2 sets of concerns. You have your clients and your partners. And so every time your partner makes a sale, what you're doing is you're putting one more nail in the coffin that says, hey, you know what, this person is more than likely to promote for me again, right? So again, when you put your products down here, you've got the choice of putting a naked link here, you can do it. Right? Does that make sense? So if everybody sort of understands just the basic download page, please put the letter number 1 in the question box. Oh, good. Okay, so Chantel is asking, that's a great question. Can you explain how to make the links for your affiliate? Okay, great. So the product that was being launched was the Optimized Press PLR package, right? Let's just say that package would be this. I had affiliates to promote this, so what I would do is I would get this link, which is just the link page, right? I would get that link. And the reason I would get that link and I would put that link here is because I don't want to put any link that's going to cause my affiliate not to get credit. And so the way you do that is you make sure that you put the exact sales page. You want to put whatever sales page that your affiliates were sending traffic to. Now, this is the link that affiliates were sending traffic to. So the way this works is that when you buy through somebody's affiliate link on your browser, right, there's a cookie on your browser, and that cookie will stay with you as long as that affiliate does not click another affiliate link. Now, as soon as that affiliate clicks another affiliate link, then it wipes out the cookie. So if you put your own affiliate link here, your tracking link, it's going to wipe out your affiliate link for your cookie, right? So all you need to do is you need to put here is the naked link so that your affiliate will come to that page and then get paid, right? Does that make sense, Chantel? Yeah, exactly. So Chantel's question was, so is this the original link? And the answer to that question is yes. It is the original link. Let's say that you decided, well, I don't want to put the original link there. I want to be the one to get the commission, right? And in some cases, you might do that, right? You might say, now all of the products that I sell here, I want to be residual sales. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Warrior Plus right now. I'm just going to show you how to create a tracking link. All right, so I'm going to go here, and how many of you all can see here inside of Warrior Plus where it says vendor tracking link? So if you see that, please put the number 2 in the question box. Okay, right. So what you would do here is you would click this. And you would say something like download page. Right, and then I would take this link and I would put that link here. Then what's going to happen is even if my affiliates, because when they get to this download page, they're going to be cookied for the affiliate. Right, and so you can decide to give your affiliate this extra commission, or you could decide, well, you're going to get paid for this. Right, now in most cases, you're probably going to give it to the affiliates in most cases, but there are going to be some cases where, again, you're going to have some parts of the offer. Let's say that all of these offers are going to be $37, but then you got this one offer down here. And this offer is going to be $997. And you might say, you know what? For this offer, they're going to go to a webinar, so I'm not going to share that offer with affiliates. I'm going to make sure that I get 100% of that offer. And that's the case. You're going to use a vendor tracking link instead of the original link. Okay, so we've covered a download page. Now, what I have suggested is that one of the ways that you can, now one of the things you're going to be concerned about is keeping the content locked, right? And so one of the things about this particular bonus page, let's see, I'm going to click this link. This download page is actually blocked from the search engines, right? It's blocked from the search engines, but I mean, there are ways for people to be able to get a hold of it. And sometimes you don't want anybody to get a hold of that download page except for the people who are buying your product. Right, and sometimes people like to share, stuff, and there are 2 ways to deal with that. Number one, you could use a membership script. You could use something like you can use Optimized Member if you have Optimized Press. You can use Wishlist Member. You can use S2 Member. You can use any or Member Sonic, whatever membership script you have. What that will do is that will lock up this page so that the only person that can get to it will actually purchase your product. I have here that there is a very easy to use WordPress plugin. It's called Download Express. I think it's by Mark Hess, and it is very easy to use. And it will very simply give people, the only people who have access to your download page are going to be the people who actually purchase the product. Right? So again, if you want the simplest solution for a single product, I think Download Express will help you. If you're willing to do a little technical work or you're willing to outsource it, I would suggest using a membership script, right, for your download page, right? Same thing is going to be true with your thank you page. You can use a membership script for that. Now, again, I talked about the fact that let's say that you don't want to use either one of those, right? You don't want to use any plugins. You don't want to use anything like that. The only thing that you can do is you can make your URL unique. Now you'll notice here I've got download leveraging PLR video -2, right? And that's probably not going to be all that easy in order to memorize, and that's really all you're trying to do. You might want to put a number in your URL. You can put a random code in your URL, and let me show you where to do that. Right? I'm going to show you how to do this in Optimized Press. In Optimized Press, there are 2. And I'll put these in there are 2 pieces of code that you're going to put inside of Optimized Press. Now that's if you're using Optimized Press. Not everybody's going to do that. One of the other things you can do is you can have your delivery page to be on a WordPress site, that's going to be separate from your main site. So in other words, you can deliver a product, and what you're going to do here is I'm going to go to the reading site, and how many of you all can see the button that says discourage search engines from indexing this site? Right, so that's what you can do. What you can do is you can actually deliver your product from a separate URL, and then you can discourage the search engines from indexing that site. And so by doing that, what you're doing is you're kind of keeping it hidden from the search engines. And then what you also want to do is to combine that with a URL, right, that's going to be, and I'll show you how to do this here, and I can actually change this URL inside of WordPress. Right, you want to make that URL something very unique that somebody cannot guess, and then that page is then going to be hidden from the search engines. Right, and it'll also be hidden from people who try to guess your URL. Now, what that will not do is that will not prevent me, if I'm your customer, from sharing it and giving other people access. There's very little you can do about that, right? You can always do that, but all you're really trying to do is just make it, you just don't want to give it away, right? You don't want to make it easy to do that. Right, does that make sense? So everybody with me on that? All right, fantastic. So, okay, so next thing what we're going to do is you're going to have to set up a place for you to deliver the content. And I have 3 suggestions here. One of them is Microsoft. Another one of them is Amazon S3. The other one is going to be Google Drive. And I personally do not use Google Drive, so I know less about that but I do know that some people will deliver their content easily from Google Drive. What I would suggest is either Microsoft or Amazon S3. There are other hosts that are going to be out there, but generally they're going to be the most reliable. Now here's what I'm going to say about Amazon S3. Amazon S3, you pay for bandwidth. And so if you have a lot of very bulky files, you are going to get a bill from Amazon the next month. Right? So you just need to be aware of that. So you're going to pay every time. You're going to pay for bandwidth when people are downloading. Now, it's not going to be a lot of money, but again, it can add up to, between $50 and $100 if you have lots of heavy files and lots of downloading. And you just don't want to be shocked by that. The next month, on the 3rd or 4th of the month, you're going to get this bill from Amazon, and it will be as a result of people having downloaded lots and lots and lots of your bulky files. One of the ways around that is that you can use a site like Microsoft, and I'll show you this here. And one of the things about Microsoft Online is that you will get 5 terabytes of storage space every time if you pay the monthly fee for Microsoft Office. Right? I think you get 1 terabyte for each user, and if you're the only person using your business Microsoft account, then you're going to have access to all 5 of the IDs. That would mean you have 5 terabytes. Right? So I'm going to go inside of here. Here is Microsoft Online, and fairly easy to use. All we really need to do here is we find the file we're going to upload. We're going to zip it, and then we're going to take that file, and then we're just going to drag it and drop it and upload it to our directory. Right? So with Microsoft Office, you're going to upload it to the directory. And again, at this point in time, as we are talking during this year at this time, 5 terabytes is still quite a bit of space. There may be a time when it's not going to be, right? And you might have to find a different solution or an additional solution. But presently, as long as you have a subscription to Microsoft Office, you get Microsoft OneDrive with it, and you get 1 terabyte per user, and 5 users can actually be on your account. Okay, now, so I'm going to take this download. I'm going to right-click it. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to make sure that only people that they can't edit it. I'm going to apply the link. I'm going to copy this link. And then I'm going to come back to my download page. All right, let's go back to my download page. I'm going to find my download button. I'm going to put that link inside of my download. Right? I'm going to click Save and Continue. And then we're going to view the link. And then when your customer clicks the link, they will then get the download. Okay, now, some people choose to use Dropbox. I'm not a big fan of that because I don't necessarily want people adding it to their Dropbox. The main reason is because, quite frankly, I forget stuff when it's in Dropbox, and I know that other people will too. And so sometimes you can just kind of load up your support desk, requests that are not unreasonable, but they really happen because, sometimes people will just kind of forget they actually downloaded something. Right? So again, I like for people to have that download right away, and it's very easy to do that inside of Microsoft. One thing that I would not recommend that you do, right, is for you to use your FTP in order to do this. Right? I would not put this on the same domain. I would deliver my content from a different place than I do run my websites. I really do want you to get that. Whether it's Microsoft, Amazon S3, or Google Drive, you want to consider not giving your customers files to download from your actual site, right? Wherever you have your offer. And the reason for that is actually pretty interesting. It's very easy for you to overload your server. I've had that to happen, right? Where you're basically overloading your server and then nothing works, right? Once your server is overloaded. The other thing I will say about Microsoft Online, which made me go to Amazon S3, is that my product had, and I'll even show you. As a matter of fact, I'll even show you the files. Okay, so if you can see here, these files say HP video backgrounds, right? And 370 meg, 302 meg, 449 meg, 409 meg, 429 meg, and so basically I had about 2 gig of files that I was that I had during a launch, and so people were hitting that page, and Microsoft Online throttled the account, right? They basically stopped traffic because of those files. Now the rest of the product was fine, but that part that people were downloading at a very fast rate, those big files, Microsoft Online throttled it. That was a live and learn case, and you want to be careful about having really big bulky files and making them available for people to download from that, from a site like that. Okay, next thing on our list here at the top on the right, test your funnel using a second PayPal. If you have 2 PayPal accounts, this is going to be really easy. If you don't, you might have to have a friend to help you. And we're gonna actually make this really easy though. You don't have to worry about just kind of the money transferring. I'm going to show you how to do this here. One of the things that we are going to do is when we run our test offer. Now I'm gonna show you. If I do a test purchase, right? If I do a test purchase, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to click this thing that says test purchase. Now that price is $9.95. Now what I'm going to do prior to the launch, and what a test purchase does, is we can actually make this live. We can actually do a test purchase before the offer is live. Right? We can do a test purchase before the offer is live. So what that means then is going to mean that before the launch, before it's active, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to set all my prices to 50 cents. That's the minimum. Right? I'm going to set all my prices to 50 cents, and then I'm going to go through a test purchase. Now the reason I'm going to go through a test purchase is because it's not going to count against my statistics that my affiliates will be looking at. Right? Does that make sense? So if you get that, please put the number 4 in the question box. That means my statistics are going to be right because I am not throwing them off. I'm using the test purchase feature. Right? So while you're doing, okay, so Chantel, so here's what's happening. When I use this test purchase link, I'm going to actually buy my own product. And then technically, I'm going to have 4 sales because I'm going to go through each part of the funnel. But it's not really a real sale, right? And it should not count toward my stats. And we don't want it to count toward my stats because all I'm doing is testing the page. And so you can use the test purchase if you don't want it to count toward your statistics. And really and truly, just to be on the ethical up and up, you want to use test purchase anyway, because you do want your stats to be true, right? Does that make sense, Chantel? Did I do a better job of explaining that? Okay, great. All right. Now when your product is not active, you are going to have to be the one to set your product to go live. It does not go live automatically. And so inside of Warrior Plus, you have to do 2 processes, right? There are 2 processes, and this is really important. And I think I can show you this. I'm going to go back inside of Warrior Plus. If I can find this process, I will show it to you. Okay, so this is just an offer. I am going to add a product to it just so we will have something here. Okay, does everybody see where it says that this offer is not yet active? Okay, so right here inside of the offer screen, you see this. It says this offer is not yet active, right? And we have to activate this offer in order to make it live, right? Now, I'm gonna take a step back and answer a question from Chantel. When you test, is your product live? The answer to that is no. We can actually go through the test purchase, right? Right here, even when the product is inactive, and that's really when you want to go through the process, right? You want to test your funnel before the offer. You want to test to make sure when you click the no thanks link that it goes to the right places. You need to do that before your launch, before you make it active, right? And what I will tell you is that don't wait till the night of the day of your launch to do this. Try to do this a couple of days ahead of time. If there are any problems, sometimes it takes a good 3, 4, 5 hours to work out, in a worst case scenario. So please do not do this on the day of the launch. Ask me how I know. So, okay, so now when you activate this offer, right, when you activate this offer, it's only going to be private, right? So I'm going to click activate. I don't really want to click activate now. I can actually schedule this launch for a date in the future, or I can say launch it right now, right? So just for the sake of, this, I'm going to activate the launch right now. Now my launch is activated, but my launch is still private, right? My launch is still private. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to now go to my offer settings in order to activate and make it public. So again, you just got to know about this 2-step process. Now, as soon as you push this public button, it's going to be part of the marketplace then, and then it's going to be public. That means everybody's going to be able to see it inside of the marketplace. Now, we're not going to do that, obviously. And in fact, I'm going to go back and turn the active part off, or we can close it. Right? So as soon as we make it public, it's going to be public. But we've got to go through. Okay, so Chantel asked, when it's private, can someone still buy it? And the answer to that is yes. Great question. Right? Can somebody still buy it when it's private? Yep, they certainly can. Sometimes you might do that. You might not put it in the marketplace. Right? You might choose not to put it there for whatever the reason. Maybe you're just running a special offer just for your affiliates. But yes, that's correct. Okay. Now, when you are at this point, before you make your product live, you want to go to your autoresponder and you want to send emails to your affiliates, right? And we've been through a little bit of this process, but just so that you'll see this again, I think it's important to mention that when we allow affiliates, one thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to our autoresponder, and we're going to connect to a JV list. Now, when you do that, just so that you'll know, your affiliates are automatically going to be placed on your email marketing list for affiliates, right? For affiliates. So you want to send an email when your offer goes live. Right, okay, so Chantel is asking, so when it's in the marketplace, does it become searchable? The answer to that is yes. Yep, it becomes searchable. Somebody can go to the marketplace and they can find your offer. That's correct. Another good question. Now, we've just talked about naked links during the launch. Now, hopefully, when you set up your product, you set it up so that you are collecting leads, right? So with every sale, right? You should be collecting leads with every sale. Now, let's look at this for a second here again. Let's just take a look here. At this product. Okay, so this particular product, when somebody buys, they are placed on the list for the Entrepreneur Mandate in Aweber for me, right? It's automatically placed there. And so we should have a list of buyers in our autoresponder if we have been following the process. Now, the reason that I mentioned this again a second time here at the end is because one of the things you want to do during your launch, let's say that you have a list of people who have purchased your product, and so now we know for a fact that they have the front end, right? We know for a fact they have the front end product. What we don't know is whether or not they have the back end product, right? And so one of the things that we can do inside of our autoresponder is we can do a little automation. And so we can do the same thing, and we can take them off the front end list when they buy the back end, so that when we send an email, we know, right, that this person has not bought the back end. So we can send them the naked link for the upsell, right? We want to send them the naked link for the upsell, and we want to do that throughout the launch. And when we send the naked link, remember, your affiliates are going to have, they're going to have cookied the person. Your affiliates are going to get credit for the sale. So basically what you're doing is, even after the launch, you are helping your affiliates to make more by promoting the back end, and you want to start doing that probably the minute that someone becomes part of your subscriber list. Right, so if you get that, please put the number 5 in the question box if you get that. Okay, so if you don't get that, please put the number 6. Right, yeah, and Chantel says we've purchased upsells like this. We all do, right, because anything happens. Sometimes we don't get sometimes somebody calls us away while we're going through the upsell process. Sometimes we don't, we're not thinking about it, right, while we're going through there, and sometimes we just we're not feeling an upsell when we're buying it. And so later on that evening, we open up our email, we get a nice email from, from the vendor welcoming us and reminding us that, hey, you know what, there's something really cool that's part of the upsell. And then we click on it, we look at it, we're in a better frame of mind, we say, you know what, I'm going to get this now, right? And so that happens. And so, and when you do that the right way, your affiliate makes money. I have this last here in terms of your product launch. And it really is the truth. I have, there have been times where I've heard marketers, and they will resist this, but it is true, affiliates don't necessarily get very personal. And I do want you to know that. Sometimes, there are, marketers have issues with each other. I mean, they're human. But for the most part, if an affiliate gets your product and they promote it and they make money, they will come back for another shot at it, because in their mind they're thinking, well, this is my guy, this is my girl, I'm going to make money with this person, and so if they have another launch, I'm in, right? That's the way that you get affiliates. You can get affiliates by promoting for them, but typically the way you're going to get affiliates is you make them money. And you want to do everything you can to make them money. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. Why is it important for you to get affiliates, right? What does a product launch do for you ultimately? And if I were to ask that question of you, what do the affiliates ultimately bring you? Yes, they bring you traffic. Yes, they bring you some money, and even if you pay them 100%, you're going to make some. But what do the affiliates really bring you? Right? They bring you buyers that you would not have had. And so basically, what you paid for in terms of commissions is the same thing you would have had to go out and advertise for if you were doing Facebook ads. So that's the way to look at it, right? So if you, let's say that you made $1,000, but you think, well, man, I paid out $500 in affiliate commissions. Well, if a lot of those buyers were new buyers, right? You now have 100 new leads that are now part of your marketing funnel. You have 100 people that are now part of your list because this affiliate, right? This affiliate sent you traffic. And so you want to help that affiliate do it again, right? And so all you're doing with a launch, right, is growing your list. Now, you don't want to live from launch to launch, right? You don't want to do that forever. But when you're doing this, what you're doing is you are putting yourself in position to build a business. Yeah, and Chantel makes a great point. This also builds your authority as well, right? The more affiliates that you have, the more times they're out promoting for you, you are really building your authority. When you have a lot of people who are saying, hey, you know what? This person's got something really cool. And then they come back another month later and they say, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember this person? They've now got something even super cooler, right? So the way to look at this is that you want to try to keep your to keep, what is a, I guess what from The Godfather they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Well, I mean, we can let's substitute and say keep your keep your affiliates close and your customers closer, but keep your affiliates close, right? Keep your affiliates close and keep your customers closer. But do keep them, right? Continue to build your relationship. And I guess, again, let me just re-stress this. The best way to build your relationship with an affiliate is to make them money. It's really not all that personal. If they make money with you, they come back. If they don't, they'll be nice to you, but they may or may not promote you. All right? Any questions as we finish this section? Any questions? All right, very good. Well, this is the end of week 4 of our product launch, and we have actually gone through the entire process. And I hope that this has been helpful for you, and that you will actually be able to go back through this. Use this as your companion guide to set up your launch on Warrior Plus. And we appreciate your being willing and able to participate in this workshop. With that, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.